All right, start it.
What?
Start the podcast.
Why do I have to do it?
Because I said.
Okay. Sorry, I had to get that out of the way before we started,
Yeah.
This is the New Leaf Podcast.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to wow. Oh, man. Episode 18 of the New Leaf Podcast. This week, we unfortunately again have some mismatched schedules and time constraints. So, fortunately, you have me, but unfortunately, you have me and Christian today.
What?
So,
No.
we don't have Tyler or Tanner today, unfortunately. So, Tyler is up to his eyeballs, I would assume, in schoolwork. So
Super busy guy.
Yeah, college can kind of grab you by the ankles and pull you down to the underworld, so that was just a Smite reference since we were just playing Smite, but, anyways, and Tanner's probably watching.
Got that reference.
Shut up. And Tanner's probably watching sports or helping Tyler because he's a good brother. So, yeah. We're all you got.
That's kind of a depressing start. Well, we're all you got, so.
We're all you got, sir.
Anyways, we're going to talk about some stuff that we have been kind of missing since we've been doing our series. It seems like it's been forever since we did just a regular episode that we weren't, in the series. I mean, we've had a few here and there that were, breaks from it, but overall. Right. What?
I said right.
Why'd you say it like that?
Because I can do whatever I want. Go on.
So, first thing we're going to talk about is this weekend we held a event for a cause that we were supporting for the people who fight against human trafficking, kind of raising awareness, things like that, using gaming as a medium. We all Twitch streamed some stuff, and we'll talk specifically about some of those later, but I think it went really well. I played Lifeless Planet, the new indie game. It was the first game I played, and I had up to 60-some people watching at one point. Taylor, what'd you have?
Yeah, I had I was close to 40, I think, at one time while I was streaming The Witcher. And I streamed The Witcher and as well Battlefield, but Witcher was on my Xbox and Battlefield was on my PlayStation. So PlayStation kind of sets up a different avenue for people live streaming. So you can you don't have to be on Twitch to be watching people live stream on your PlayStation. So it's easier to reach people on PS4.
What do you mean you don't have to be on Twitch?
So how do I say this?
What are you eating?
Nothing. I just made a noise in my mouth.
Sounds like you're licking your fingers or something.
Anyways, so on the PlayStation, how you have all your little, on Xbox you have your screen, your apps, little squares,
Yeah.
On PlayStation it's set up in a row. You have PS3, so you know how it kind of looked. It was kind of like that, but it was more, they're all square. It's more orderly. Anyways, so if you hover over Battlefield or any game, if there's anyone live streaming in that game, it will show, this is happening right now under that game. And it'll show people live streaming.
Kind of like when you pull up a game on the Xbox store. It shows it right there.
Yes. Yep.
But you're saying you don't have to open up a Twitch app to go into it?
Nope, you just click on it. Yep. Yeah, so, and the cool thing about PlayStation is, at the bottom of the screen, I can put something like I forget what I had. I had I had like hey, welcome everyone to this or that, the New Leaf, gaming drive to raise awareness for sex trafficking. And then in the bottom of my screen, I had me in the top right, my viewers, my chat box, all that stuff. And on the bottom, I had this repeating message that said that exactly, like, welcome. And then I had the link to Rescue One Global and as well as heartsofmen.com, just sitting down there constantly going back and forth. So if you're watching that on your PlayStation, then you would see the link.
That's really nice. On the Xbox, like, I would, like, you gotta type it into the chat, like, yourself.
Or speak.
Yeah, or say it. And I had a thing on my computer that connects to a Twitch chat, or a channel, and I could, like, just pull that up and type into it, but for some reason it wasn't working, so I was having to use the Xbox chat, and that's really annoying. Like, I had to...
It's really annoying.
I had to keep it snapped over on the right, and it takes away from the game viewing. Yep. And I don't know what happened, but they don't have the viewer count on the bottom anymore.
Yeah, they do.
Not on mine. I had to snap the sidebar in order to see the number of viewers.
Oh, really? No, it definitely still does it.
So maybe mine was messing up. I don't know.
It probably was. But yeah, I got some feedback, and then what I should have done is I shouldn't think about this. I should have played that the playable teaser. I would have got like a freaking million viewers on that crap.
Oh yeah.
I didn't even think about that. But oh well.
You're dumb.
So yeah, it was good though. It was definitely a good avenue. I mean, I'm not really sure how many people read that or saw it, but just the fact that it was there,
Right.
And I don't know if you like took time out or like took breaks to talk about what you were doing, but I did that. So.
Not really. I just I mention it like every once in a while.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I played Lifeless Planet for about 4 hours, and then I switched over to Metro 2033 because I don't know what else to play, and I didn't want to try a multiplayer game because I was scared it was gonna lag. And even because my internet speed isn't that high anyways, and even I was broadcasting on the medium speed, and it was like...
Oh, I always do low speed no matter what.
So yeah, I feel like, I don't know. Hopefully when I get my internet upgraded, I can do it at higher bandwidths.
Yeah. But just so everybody knows, if you were there, I'm not sure what shift you called us on, but I was 8 p.m. to 8 p.m. to like 7 a.m. And then Tyler and then you kind of were in the same one, right?
Well, Tyler did it starting at 7 until I'm not sure actually when he stopped, but I got on around.
I think it was like 11 p.m. I think, or 11 a.m.
I had to work yesterday morning, so when I got home, it was probably around 12 when I started.
Yeah, I was. I made sure I got on just because I knew that. I think Tyler had said that he had to go somewhere, so I got on until you were on. And then I tried to stream, but I mean that was gonna be hitting like 18 hours of video games in the last 24 hours, and I just was so like exhausted.
Yeah, I was exhausted after doing 8. I was like, man, I can't do this like I used to.
I know, it made me remember when I was like freaking 12. I could go for like 40 hours straight. Like not even move, just move to poop and pee.
Yeah. Yeah, it took like everything out of me sitting there. Well, I mean, it didn't help that I was at work from 4 in the morning to 10 in the morning with no break at all, just like straight working, and then come home, sat down for a little bit, got like a little bit to eat, and then started playing video games. But it was a good time.
Oh yeah, it was definitely fun. So, and Tyler, I'm not sure. I don't think he replied to you, but
no.
Tyler and Tanner played, at least as far as I know, they played strictly Halo Master Chief Collection. So
They were playing through all the games, and they were just trying to get through it, like the whole thing.
yeah,
I mean, that could take tons of time just by itself.
So, but yeah, I think it was good. I think it's definitely a good avenue for us to try and put stuff out there so people hear about things, you know?
Yeah, I'd for sure want to do it with our
other stuff.
The other stuff that we wanted to talk about on the podcast later on this year.
Yeah, for sure.
But like I said, we missed a couple of things that I wanted to touch on.
Kind of big things, in my opinion.
First, I wanted to talk about the games we played on the stream. I'll just go ahead and talk about Metro 2033 real quick, get that out of the way. I was getting so frustrated with that game yesterday. Like, I was so ready to turn that thing off because it was really getting on my nerves. That's like as close to Dark Souls as I get. I'm only playing on like the medium difficulty, I think. I'm not 100% sure, but
Metro isn't even like resemblance. It doesn't resemble Dark Souls at all.
I mean, it's not as much as it, but I mean, it's a really, really tough, challenging game. It's dark. You have very limited resources. That's why I said I didn't say it was exactly the same. I said it's as close to Dark Souls as I would get. And I don't even know how far I am in the story, but it's just really, really tough trying to get through it. And I want to get through it so I can play Metro Last Light, which I've heard is not as punishing as 2033 is. But it looks really, really nice. I have the Redux version on the Xbox, and it looks really nice because I had it. I got on some super sale on Steam one time, played it a little bit on there, and it was hard. But I feel like some of the mechanics were like glitchy on there. The enemies would see you really, really easily, and I think they fixed that on the Xbox version. It's still tough, but the PC version was like almost impossible for me. But it was alright. But the other game that I played was Lifeless Planet, like I said, which is...
Yeah, talk about that.
It's a new...
obviously...
How much did you watch of it?
I kind of just joined it was like a good hour, but I think I just joined it just to harass you, and that's pretty much what I did, so...
Well, you joined in like really close to the end of the game. It was maybe only like another, I don't even know, half hour, 45 minutes after you left when I finished it. But I don't know who made this game. It's an indie game. It's a new on the Xbox, whatever you call it, ID at Xbox, I guess. Is it on PlayStation 4? Have you seen any ads about it on there, Taylor?
I haven't checked, to be honest with you, but I haven't seen ads for it, so I don't think it would be.
I'm not sure if it's an exclusive or not, but I'm going to tell you right now, it's not worth the $15. And I think that was even like a sale. I think it was normally like $20. It's maybe like $7, $8, because I played it for, I think I was actually in the game for about 3.5 hours, and I beat the whole thing, just like straight through. And it was cool because I like that kind of stuff, like space stuff, but it was
so not worth the $15?
No, not worth $15. And a lot of it was taken up just like walking, just kind of running through the environments, which were cool. Like there's different stuff. I think you were on there when I was in like this lava area. There's like underground areas and
I was watching
like desert, like Mars almost. When you start out on this kind of like Mars area. There's like just this desert, barren, kind of red planet. And your guy's an astronaut who's crash landed, and you don't know where your crew is, and he's got to run and grab oxygen. And then you find out, and this is not a spoiler because it's in all the like ads and everything. You're walking around on this planet. There's nothing around. And you walk up, you see these like power lines. You're like, what in the world? You keep walking and you're in this like 1970s town on this planet, like American town on this other planet. And it's like really really weird. And
That's
you're running
awesome.
around
I didn't
trying
see
to.
that part of it.
Yeah, you miss a lot of like the intro story.
Oh, okay.
So you run around and there's like these little things that glow on the ground that you pick up and you open up in your little like PDA thing, and you read all these like logs from scientists and stuff, and that kind of explains the backstory, which is really interesting. If you like that kind of stuff, I'd say it's worth it if you, like I said, $7, $8, $10 maybe, if you wanted to play and kind of experience all that. It's an interesting story, but it's wasn't enough depth there to really be worth the money that I paid for it, I guess. It's supposed to be kind of like, I don't know if it's like a platformer. There's like platforming elements, there's puzzle solving elements, but all of it's really simple. Like most things, I figured out what I was supposed to do in like 10 seconds. And a lot of the frustration I had, there's only like 2 areas that come to mind where I couldn't figure out what I was supposed to do. But
That one time you're trying to like climb up that tower and the fire kept burning you. It happened like 4 times in a row. Like,
yeah,
you kept going to the same
but
spot.
then
That was
like,
funny.
because see, some of it you kind of get turned around because you're not sure exactly where you're going because the environments are so huge and your guy's so small. And but once you figure it out, it's like okay, and you just like there's this really simple solution, and then that's it. But the game doesn't explain what you're supposed to do. You just have to figure out how to progress through these different areas. So I'll probably play it and get all the achievements, but other than that, I wouldn't play back through it again. And there's actually an achievement for beating it in less than 4 hours. I don't know how anybody couldn't get that achievement because it was really easy.
I mean, some people like to, kind of explore. I could definitely see some people that check like every nook and
I mean,
cranny.
I explored, like, for sure.
I know, but there's some people that, I mean, let's be honest, Christian, you're kind of impatient sometimes.
Yeah, that's true.
There's some people that would, walk around the whole freaking outline of the map just to find something so stupid.
And I did explore a little bit, and I got most of the little log things, but there was apparently a few that I missed because I didn't get the achievement for all of them. But it was interesting experience. The story was very strange. I'll leave it at that. I was talking on the stream. I was like, I feel like a Japanese person made this game because there's just like all kinds of trippy, weird stuff going on, and it kind of leaves you. The end of the game is not really a cliffhanger, but it didn't really wrap up everything that was going on. There's a lot of like weird stuff that it didn't explain, but it was cool. Yeah, just a really, really weird game, but I enjoyed it. I didn't enjoy the $15 I spent on it, but a little bit less money, I would say go for it. It'd do well as like a free game with gold or something like that. So
what you're saying is it's not worth any money then?
No, I'm like for more people to play it. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
It'd be good as a free game, but like I said, for people who are interested in kind of like sci-fi stories, sci-fi atmosphere, like space exploration stuff, alien stuff, it's good. It's good to spend something on it, but not $15.
Yeah.
That was all that we streamed. Well, no, talk about before we go into The Witcher.
Well, I was gonna say, I just was gonna make a comment that the more I play Battlefield Hardline, which is what I streamed a little bit on my PS4, the more I remember how badly PlayStation players suck, dude, because it is unreal. I mean, I don't even.
Well, like I said, I've said it on podcasts before. I think PlayStation gamers, they're more geared towards like the single player experience games rather than multiplayer. I'm not saying every PlayStation gamer is like that, but
yeah,
the vast majority I feel like are not really like hardcore multiplayer gamers, just because that's not what that system was built on.
Yeah.
But let's talk about Air Mech Arena. Did you play that?
No, I didn't play that.
I told you to download it.
I did download it, I think, but I don't think I played it.
Okay, so this is a free game. It's a free-to-play game. It's not just like a free game where you buy like certain things to unlock certain things. But I don't feel like this one is one of those where you have to buy stuff to stay on top. There's not like boosts and all kinds of stuff. It's mostly cosmetic stuff from what I saw. But I know it does take well, no, I'll take it back. There is like a premium thing that you can pay for, and you get more XP and more money and stuff for each match, because it shows you at the end of the match how much you got and how much you could have got.
That's so stupid.
Well, I mean, it is, but I mean, it's a free game, and they give you a lot of content without paying money, so you can't blame them for that. I
can blame them for anything I want.
Oh, I guess you could. You could blame him for not being Skyrim, I guess, if you really wanted to. Somebody would. So, like I said, it's a free-to-play game. The only complaint I have is it just takes so long to level the stuff up. And you have to get to certain levels to unlock the different mechs. And, I mean, I play like 5 games and still be on the same level, maybe more than that. But it's fun. It's a nice little arcade game. It's kind of like, I want to say it's almost like a MOBA, but it has MOBA-like elements, but it's not really a MOBA.
Yeah, that's what I would compare it to, just from looking at pictures.
Each, like, the player characters are the mechs, and there's like a flying form and a walking form, and each one's different. There's like a jet, a helicopter, UFO, there's like a stealth bomber, kind of different stuff like that. And you have different attacks and different powers depending on which mode you're in. And while you're in the flying mode, you can pick up like the non-player characters on the ground, which are like mobs. There's like little foot soldiers that are the creeps. But then you also build soldiers. You can build larger foot soldiers. You can build smaller mechs. You can build like tanks, mines, turrets, all kinds of stuff. And the point of the game is to progress across the map to take over the enemy base, like pretty much any MOBA. But this one, there's like other bases kind of spread throughout the map that are controlled by, like non-team AI characters, like they're neutral, but they'll attack anybody that comes near them.
Yeah.
So you have to kind of take over those bases and then keep moving your army across the map. And then obviously your character helps by shooting and killing the other guys' vehicles or whatever.
So the NPCs don't like suck?
What do you mean?
I mean, like
the things you build?
the mobs, like, are they good? I mean, are they like, you know how games?
I mean,
put,
each one has like certain counters. Like there's like an artillery that does better against the vehicles, but then like foot soldiers can kill the artilleries. But most of the time, what I find that I'm doing is I just build like tons of tanks and just go drop them like near the enemy base, and then I'll go into my mech form and I'll just run around shooting everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you have to like build tons and tons of stuff in order for your little mob guys to take over bases. Like you really have to do a lot of the fighting yourself. And you have skills, but it's not like another MOBA where you buy all these items and like level your different stats up. It's just like each mech has like a special skill that he has. Like one guy swings a sword, one guy shoots missiles, different stuff like that. And you can level up like your defense or your speed and different things, but it's really, really fast paced. It's a lot of fun. Definitely try that out. I'm not sure if that's on PlayStation either.
So it is worth it, is what you're telling me?
Yeah, it's worth playing. I enjoy it. And you can play, there's like a single player where you play against AI. You can play co-op online where it's you and another player character against AI. And then there's a versus where it's all live players against live players. There's like I'm not sure about the PvP because I haven't done that yet. But single player and AI, you can play like 1v1, 1v2, 1v3, 2v2, 2v3, or 3v3. And the AI is pretty easy to beat, so it's not like it's a huge challenge. Like I've never actually lost a match. Now the PvP might be different, but like I said, I haven't tried that yet. But you have to. It does teach you pretty well the mechanics of the game, because you have to progress through these certain challenge levels in order to unlock the single player skirmish, and you got to win or I'm not sure if it's win or play a certain number of matches in the single player to unlock co-op, and then you either win or play a certain number of matches in co-op to unlock PvP. So it kind of builds. It takes a little bit to get to where you can play online on the co-op, but not a whole lot of time. And like I said, it teaches you the game pretty well, so it's worth it. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. Definitely everybody should check that out, especially with it being free. Free games are good, especially when they're decent games. I also played Project Cars the last weekend. A buddy of mine at work let me borrow that because we were talking about it at work, and he's like, he's a big racing fan, so he's like, was talking about this game for like months beforehand. Like, oh, it's gonna be so awesome, it's gonna be great and everything.
I heard it sucked.
For a really hardcore racing fan, it's good. Like, it's kind of like Gran Turismo, where you've got like these different
Like a pretty heavy simulator.
Yeah, like, I mean, it's like ridiculously in depth. Like, in Forza, you can fine tune all that stuff on your car.
Oh yeah.
Like all the little tiny details. Like, you can do all that times like 100 in Project Cars. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's almost like you gotta be a mechanic to understand all this crazy stuff that you're messing with. But there's different like championships that you go into. It's got like go-karts, it's got like Formula 1 cars, it's got regular street racing cars, and it's got like licenses. They're not really called licenses, it's like some kind of qualifying thing you do to unlock certain championships. But pretty much the same thing as the licenses in Gran Turismo. But he let me borrow it because he was kind of complaining after he got it. The steering is like ridiculous. He was like, you barely hit the stick one way and your car like spins out. So I was like, that's interesting. So I decided to try it. And
is that true?
It is. Especially in the go-karts. Like, the go-karts are terrible. Like, I couldn't even play it. Because they're just swerving all over the road. It was crazy.
Well, I mean, once you're going at a certain speed, if you do barely tap the steering wheel, you're gonna lose control. That's how it works.
Yeah, I mean, that's how it is. Like, I was racing around in one of the regular cars, and I mean, like in Forza, it's got like the line on the track, like on Forza, where it tells you where to slow down and stuff like that. Yeah. And if you don't follow that like exact, you'll spin out. Like in Forza, you don't really have to follow that. Like, you really don't have to brake.
I mean, you should, often. But you can recover from it.
Yeah. I mean, you can win a game without doing all that. But this one, I mean, you have to know when to brake, when to accelerate, like when to move your wheels. I mean, it's crazy. But that being said, it is like really, really touchy. I feel like it would be better with like a steering wheel. I think that's more what it's meant for, is like a really hardcore simulation steering wheel and all that stuff. Because you can actually, like when you're in first person view inside the car, you know how you can see the steering wheel in Forza? This one, you can see the steering wheel, but if you have a steering wheel plugged in, you can actually remove the steering wheel off of the HUD inside the car. So that was an interesting little addition there.
Oh, that would look. I would hate that. That would be annoying looking. Like, I like to see the steering wheel in the game.
But if you had a steering wheel plugged in, why would you want to see a steering wheel in front of you and a steering wheel on the screen?
I mean, so you can see if it's reacting how it should. Yeah.
I don't think people would be paying attention to that. But like, of course, I can't do the first person view like at all. And some of the cars, there's like roll cages.
That's all me, dude.
There's like roll cages and stuff in there. So it's really hard to see anyways. I mean, you barely can see the track. But
how do you not do first person in a racing game?
I like seeing my car, dude. Especially on Forza, where you can like make your car look all cool and stuff with all the paint. I like looking at it.
I guess it's different because I don't know.
Okay.
Sorry.
For somebody, on the steering thing, apparently it is an issue because he said the other day, I was talking to him, that there's some patch or something they're supposed to be coming out with that kind of fixes it a little bit. So obviously it's something that they feel like they need to address. But it wasn't my style of game. It's just like really, really too in depth for me. I mean, it'd take you a long, long time to figure out what all that stuff is. Yeah. Unless you're a hardcore racing fan like he is, and you kind of know already. But even he said, like, there's stuff that you can mess with in there that he has no idea how to do it. He said he was on like internet forums and stuff, people like giving tips on like how to tune all the cars to make them work right for like certain things. It's crazy.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that'd be my kind of game. I would enjoy that probably, but
I don't think you'd have the time.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I wouldn't have the time to do it.
So why don't you talk about The Witcher 3 a little bit?
All right. Well, I guess I'll talk about it from my perspective.
Yeah, you talk about it from your perspective, and just to set this up, I played The Witcher 1 and The Witcher 2 on the PC, so I know like the back history and I know what the previous game's mechanics were and stuff like that. But Taylor, on the other hand, has never played a Witcher game besides this one.
And only heard horrible things about this one from like people who thought they knew what they were talking about, apparently. So
So why don't you go into it, and then I'll kind of like add a little bit, like details and whatever like that.
Okay. So when I guess I'll kind of talk about this too. You know, as I was growing up, I would see games, you know, like Skyrim or like Oblivion and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And deep down in my heart, I was like, wow, you know, I really think this is awesome and I want to play this game. But because of whatever it was, maybe because I was just so young, I never really understood, you know, I didn't understand how everything worked.
What do you mean how everything worked?
Like leveling up, like what this does to counter this and that kind of thing. Like, you know.
Oh, yeah, like the really kind of the RPG, like in-depth skills and
right, exactly. I was just kind of like the hack and slash guy, like just kill everything that you see.
Just like get a weapon and go run and fight everything.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. But now that I've gotten older, I really kind of like to dive into these kind of games. And I had heard awful things from a few people that I know. They were just like, you know, oh, this game it's so bad. Like these people said it was gonna be so good, and it sucks. They don't even know what they're doing when they made this game. And I was, you know, I saw that, and it kind of scared me because Christian had been talking about it, so I was kind of excited for it, you know, just to see what people thought or said about it. But then Christian kept telling me, you know, he's like, dude, it's good, you know. And then I went to GameStop, and I walked in, and this guy that always helps me, I was like, you know, I was thinking about getting The Witcher. He's like, dude, you don't have it yet? I'm like, no. He's like, okay, well. And I told him what I had heard people say, and he's like, dude, it's so much different than the first and second one. He's like, it's so much better. I was like, well, I never played them, so he's like, well, that's great.
People say that kind of stuff because they don't understand, like, how the game works.
Yeah. Well, and I was like, you know what, fine, I guess I'll buy it. And then I bought it, and I absolutely love the game. Like, you know, just the way everything, how I just said, you know, I didn't know before because I would have been so young, but now I realize, you know, that to kill this kind of enemy, I have to use this, and instead of getting all mad for like a half an hour trying to kill it, I can kill it in like 2 seconds because I understand how to beat it. And I don't know, it's just, I mean, that was kind of my take on it, just from what I had heard and how I feel about these kind of games. And really, I'm predominantly a shooter fan, but once in a great while, this game will come around, and now I've like spent so much time already playing this game. I don't even know how to look at my stats if I can.
I don't think I can.
I don't think I can, but I've already spent.
I've always been an RPG fan. I mean, since like I think the first like really in-depth RPG I played was maybe Knights of the Old Republic, or maybe even before that, maybe Morrowind. I think Morrowind came out before that. But yeah, so I've always been an RPG fan. Now there's certain RPGs that I like, certain ones that I don't like. I how do I say this? I like Dragon Age Inquisition, but I don't like it as much as other RPGs because I don't know what it is. Like just something about the game is just kind of off. But
I feel like Dragon Age always was a good start to a game, but just something it didn't have that drive to push it to the end of the game to be a good game. You know what I mean?
yeah.
I
Well,
don't know.
here's the thing. These are all open world RPGs. The Witcher 3, Dragon Age Inquisition, and Skyrim. Those are all open world RPGs, but they're all vastly different. So you can't be like somebody may, but most people are not going to like all open world RPGs, and you can't compare one to the other. So, like Taylor, you were talking about people who were comparing this to Skyrim.
Yeah, like some guy I knew on Facebook, he was like, they said this was gonna be the Skyrim killer and stuff like that. And this guy was totally. I sent Christian the Facebook post that he put, and it was just like,
Yeah, it was
grow up.
ridiculous.
He's like 22, and he has like
It
a
was like
4-page
a-
report about how bad this game is garbage. I'm like, really?
Yeah, it was like he had like his sources cited down at the bottom and everything. It was crazy. Um, but here's where that fails. Dragon Age and Skyrim, you can pretty much spec whatever kind of character you want. I mean, you can be a mage, you can be like archer, you can be a warrior, like whatever. You can be like a combination of different ones. I mean, it's like anything you want. There's this huge, like vast array of skills that you can go into and really like hone down what kind of character you want to play as. But in The Witcher, you don't get to do that. You have one character type, and that's just because that's who the character is. Because in The Witcher, it's a role-playing game, but you're playing a specific character. You're not like building your own character and then playing them.
Right.
So the character you're playing, how did you say it? Geralt.
Yeah, I was like, Geralt.
Geralt.
It was a
is-
joke, obviously.
Yeah, obviously. But it was
I'm an
funny.
idiot.
But so he's a Witcher. That's what he is. And that in the Witcher universe, they are professional monster slayers. Like that's their job, and they're kind of outcast from society because they have all these genetic enhancements and stuff like that. They're super good at alchemy, so they brew potions that help them fight better or whatever. But you have all this stuff going into the character, and that's what you're playing as. I mean, it's a very specific style. You've got the two swords, the steel sword and the silver sword, depending on which type of enemy you're fighting. There is a crossbow in this one, but there hasn't been before. And honestly, I don't like using a crossbow because it's super weak for some reason.
I like it. I like using it against when you fight the wyverns and the things. I don't know if you haven't fought them yet, but the things that fly in the air, you can ground them with one shot. So I mean that's pretty convenient. So.
But so that's like a new addition in this game, and all the other games you're just fighting with the swords. But you have magic, but it's not like Skyrim where you can have all this crazy like healing magic and like damage magic and just all this crazy stuff. I mean, there's like a trap sign that you throw on the ground and it slows guys. There's a kind of like a force push type thing. There's like a fire thing.
No, there's telekinesis, a telekinesis push, a fire wave.
There's a stun, like you use a stun power.
It's kind of like Jedi mind trick.
Yeah. But it's not like you're not a magic fighting character. I mean, those like add on to how you're fighting them with the swords or whatever you're doing. Then you've got bombs that you can craft, and those do certain things. There's like stun and damage. So you have all this stuff. But like Taylor said, there's there's specific ways that you need to go about killing certain enemies. And this is what I like about this one that the other ones didn't really capture. The first and second one were very linear, so you're just purely going through the story, and you kind of get caught up in this larger thing that's going on. And so you're doing all that, and you're not really doing like what your job is. You're not out hunting monsters.
Not
But
a Witcher.
in this one, you are. So you really get the feel of like what a Witcher does. I mean, you run around to the different towns, getting the contracts off the board. I mean, they had those in The Witcher 2, and in The Witcher 1, but it wasn't the same. It was kind of like this little side thing that you could do while you're doing the other quest. But this one is like they're all their own missions. So you're fighting like griffins, werewolves, stuff like that, and like wraiths. And when you go do this, a lot of the times you gotta solve some kind of mystery. You gotta like figure out what happened. You have to like research what you're gonna be fighting, and use the right sword, use the right potions, use the right like poisons. You can craft poisons to put on your sword, and each one like does different damage to different enemies. I was fighting
like the wraith. Oh no, go on. Sorry.
I was gonna say when I was fighting a wraith, you find out in your research that they're weak to the slowdown sign.
Yeah, because it makes them vulnerable. It become like they don't turn it. They become like
right. They become like physical instead of like this ghost type thing.
Apparition, yeah.
So like if you just ran in there and started trying to fight without having to know, like without knowing all that stuff, you would die like super fast, and
because
really
when
frustrating.
If you hit the thing, if you hit the wraith without the slow potion, you do like 30 damage, but with the magic, it's like 300 damage.
And the if you hit her too like outside of the slow thing, she'll just disappear and like come behind you. But in the slow thing, she stays there, and you can just keep like wailing on her.
Yeah.
So it's very, very in depth, and I like that a lot. It's not one like The Witcher 2. I've told people this before that I've talked to about it. If you had enough health potions, you could just run in and like fight anything, and you didn't have to like do all that crazy stuff. But this one, you can't do that. Like you have a certain amount of health potions, and in the other ones, it's been a while since I played it, but I don't think the health potions added to your toxicity level. But in this one, they do. And the basic health potion actually doesn't work if you get hit. So, like, if you avoid hits, you can sit there and regen your health. But if you get hit, it stops the health regen. And it's not like you drink the potion and your health's all the way up. I mean, it's like over time deal. There is another more rare potion that does keep adding health after you get hit, but I haven't gotten all the stuff to make that one yet.
Wait, which one are you talking about?
I don't know what it's called, but it's one of the other potions.
The normal one's called Swallow.
Right. I don't know what the other one is. But yeah, it's very in-depth combat, which I like a lot. You have to kind of time your attacks and when you're going to dodge, when you're going to use the magic. Certain magic works on some enemies and certain magic doesn't work on those same enemies. So you have to kind of bide your time, figure out what's going to work and what's not. It's very, very good. And this one being open world is really cool. I mean, the areas are like huge.
They're
ridiculous.
So vast. It's ridiculous.
Like the first area I thought was big. I'm like, man, this is like big. There's like a little castle and then a town. And then all this, there's like a battlefield and all this kind of woods area you can run around in. But then I got to the second area and I'm like, oh my gosh. There's like 5 cities in it and all these other little settlements and stuff. It's crazy. I think they said there's like 200 hours worth of content, which is
that's just in the base game too, right? That's not even in like the extra content.
Yeah, that's without all the free DLC they're gonna release. That's without the
plus the expansion
passes they're gonna release. I mean, there's gonna be tons and tons of content for this game, and
definitely one game I won't be getting rid of for a while at least.
And see, they say the same thing about Dragon Age, but I found it kind of hard to figure out what you're supposed to do in Dragon Age. I don't know if it's just the way they had it set up or what, but it was difficult to like I didn't know where to go next. I didn't know because there were certain areas I was trying to go to that were over leveled and I don't know where to go to like get my level up to go there. But this one, it tells you underneath all the missions like what the recommended level requirement is. So you can be like, oh, I'm a level 4. This quest is level 33. I probably shouldn't do that one yet. I'll go look for other ones.
Right.
But all the Witcher boards, the contract boards, are clearly marked in the towns. And just as you're running around in the towns or out in the country, you can see stuff pop up on the mini map where you can go help somebody. There's like these unknown events you can go to. There'll be like a monster or bandits or something you can fight. There's tons and tons of stuff. And the story is really interesting. I always like the story of The Witcher. It's kind of, if anybody's familiar with the Game of Thrones story, it's kind of like that, like a little darker, but not like as dark as Game of Thrones. I mean, Game of Thrones is like super dark. But this one, like, there's a lot of real world issues that get translated into the game. The humans are kind of like this, they're kind of like the dominant race, and they're kind of racist toward the elves and the dwarves and the non-human characters. And there's a lot of like elves and dwarves that actually make this this resistance army called the Scoia'tael, which means squirrels. And in the second game,
I killed some of them.
Dude, I joined them in the second game. You could choose like fight them or join them.
Yeah, I fought them.
I joined them because, and in the first game, they were in the first game too. I joined them because they're like the oppressed people. Like I want to help out the underdogs. But it's not all like, it's not like a lot of the other fantasy worlds where there's just all these characters all over the place and everybody's like cool and they're just fighting bad guys. Man, I need like something to drink or something. I don't know.
Yeah, you do need something to drink.
Fighting bad guys. Yeah, it's there's a lot of dynamics, like story stuff going on in the actual
and it's cool.
world.
It's I like games where, you your speechcraft, like, in a lot of RPGs, there's like a speechcraft of some sort.
Right.
But your stun, like your whatever that ability is called, I forget the sign, the Axie sign. But in conversation, as long as you upgrade it, you can use it and just do awesome stuff.
Yeah,
and
it's
you
not
get
a
extra.
It's not a separate skill. Like it's not a separate skill from the combat. You use the same skill in combat and in like persuasion.
Right. So.
But yeah, it's a very good RPG as long as you know what you're doing and be patient. Take the time to figure out what you need to do to progress
and understand the content that's going to be in the game.
So. Yeah, that's what I'm going to talk about now. The Witcher has always been infamous for, let's say, sexual content. And the thing is, this is a game that's made by, I think, a Polish company. It's based on novels that are written by a Polish author. And in other countries, people aren't, like, really guarded about sexual stuff like Americans are. I'm not saying that to excuse it, I'm just saying that's their culture. So they don't think about it the same way that we do in America. And I've read like a statement from the developer as to why they include the sexual stuff in the game. And I agree with this too, is they use the sexual stuff to, now not always, obviously, but for the vast majority of the time, they use the sexual stuff to connect you to other characters. Geralt's there's always like a female that he like really likes or loves or whatever. And they use the sex stuff to like attach you to that character quicker than any other. They basically said there's no other element they could use to make you want to like go defend that character or help that character besides establishing this relationship. And as far as what Geralt's character is, he doesn't just like sleep around with every female that he can. I mean, there are certain times you can do that in the game if you choose to do that, but that's not what Geralt would do if you're staying true to his character. So, that being said, that's why they use that stuff. Now, they do have how can I put this? Top frontal nudity for some of the female characters in the game.
And back.
Right, yes, that's true too.
The booty.
But it's not often that you see that stuff. Like, it's not like just totally like throughout everything in the game. And most of it's in a cutscene you can skip. Some of it's not, I don't think. But yeah, if that kind of stuff bothers you, then definitely stay away. Or if you feel convicted by looking at that, definitely stay away from this. But for me, I like the overall story of the game. I like the mechanics of the game. I can kind of look past that stuff, especially since it's used as a plot device and not just something that's just thrown in there just to kind of be gratuitous. And then another thing is, like, that doesn't really do anything for me. Like, seeing, like I told Taylor the other day when we were playing, this one chick, I mean, it looked like a Barbie, like it looked plastic, like fake. It's more disturbing than like arousing, I guess you could say. So it doesn't really.
I think the correct thing you said was disturbingly arousing. I think is what you said.
I definitely did not say disturbingly arousing. But yeah, I did like seeing a digitally animated character naked is more weird than anything else. So to me, it doesn't do anything to me. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I agree. I could really care less because, like you said, I don't really have much of a standpoint on it. I don't think that nudity in any kind of, how do I put this? I guess I can't really say that. I mean, because anyone can get a hold of anything nowadays, which is a sad thing. But
well, this is different than, like, say you're watching a movie that has nudity in it. I mean,
but how is it different though? That's the thing.
Well, that's a real person in that movie. It's not real on the game. Like, it's now, maybe in the future as technology progresses and they can make it look more real, it might become more of an issue for me. But for me, it's like there's so much distance between seeing it on a digital character in a game than seeing it like on a real person in a movie. And there's a huge difference there.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't think that necessarily nudity in any type of form is okay in video games, just because that's just not. I don't know that I don't play video games to see nudity. You know what I mean? Like I don't do anything to see nudity except for not even showering. I mean, I don't want to see myself naked. That's weird. So I don't know. I don't really think it's necessary, I guess, is what I'm trying to get at. But does it bother me? No. But is it necessary? No. So.
Yes. I'd be interested to see what other people think about that.
I'm sure they think that we're like disgusting pigs because we play this game.
Probably. I'd be interested to see what Tyler says about that, because I know Tyler.
I think he's like totally against it.
Yeah, he'd probably be more against it than we are. Again, I'm not saying that it's like good or should be in the game, but I'm saying that I can look past it because it's, first of all, I use it as a plot device, and then second of all, it's, like I said, seeing a digital, kind of the same thing with the violence. Like, I can play Grand Theft Auto and just kill like hundreds of people like every time I play it and not want to go like kill somebody in real life down the street. You know what I mean? I mean, there's a separation between something that's happening in a video game than something that's happening in real life.
There has to be. I mean, unless what it comes down to, I mean, is conviction is one, but really I think another one is, stumbling, like causing you to stumble. So I mean, like, if you're playing this video game and you seeing this girl naked or whatever, or like this sex scene is gonna make you like crave or lust after something, then by all means, please don't play it.
Right.
I mean, like you said, I mean, seeing, you know, a girl naked on a video game doesn't make me like lust after my girlfriend because, for one, I don't know, it just shouldn't, and two, it's a video game, so.
Yeah, and to add on to that, like if you're not old enough to make that distinction, then you shouldn't be playing this game. This is
To
a
begin with,
M-rated
yeah.
game, so nobody should be able to be playing it unless they're 17 or up. But still, then I feel like this is a game for adults, like in their 20s, where they can, you don't have raging hormones and can make decent decisions. That's who this game is for. It's not for children. And if you recognize the audience that it's geared toward, then you're on the right track.
Yeah, so. So overall, I mean, I guess, like, with that being said, if you fit in those categories and you really enjoy RPG games, I mean, I would recommend it. Just from, if you've never played The Witcher, take it from me, a guy who's never played any of The Witchers, I enjoy the game exponentially, so.
And you don't really have to play the first two to see the story. I would
Oh, no.
recommend like looking it up on Wikipedia or something, just kind of get some background. But the first one, I mean, unless you really, really, really want to play it, don't go play it because it is very old. The mechanics are very odd. I mean, you have the two swords, but you also have like 3 different fighting styles in each sword. There's like a heavy style, medium style, and a quick style. And depending on the enemy, obviously certain enemies use certain swords, and then certain enemies still in those categories use different styles. And most of the time you're getting attacked by multiple different kinds of enemies, so you're constantly having to switch back and forth between the styles like mid-combat. And it's interesting, but it's very difficult to keep up with. I mean, it was a struggle for me to get all the way through it, but I did. And I wanted to play... Shut up. And I wanted to play all the way through The Witcher 2, but I was in like halfway through the game, and I decided to upgrade my operating system on my computer, and didn't think to back up all my Steam saves, so I lost my save, and I didn't feel like going all the way through all that again. I mean, it was dozens of hours put into that game to get through it. But it is a lot more accessible. I mean, definitely, I think you can go back and play that one fairly easily today, but it's not quite as fluid as this one, and not as in depth as The Witcher 3 is. But it's a really good game. I feel like there's more sex stuff in the second one too than there was in the first one and the third one. Yeah. I feel like because it was, I mean, there's a huge graphical difference between the first one and the second one. The second one looks really, really nice. I mean, on the PC, like with all the settings jacked up, it almost looks as good as The Witcher 3 does on Xbox One. I mean, it looks really good. So I can only imagine what The Witcher 3 looks like on the PC. My PC probably couldn't run it. But I feel like with that, like, oh my gosh, we can make stuff look so good. Then they decide to put more nudity in it because they can make it look better.
Because why not?
But like that goes back into, like I said, I feel like they've matured their use of it throughout the series, and it's very, they use it appropriately in The Witcher 3. Not saying
discreet.
Yes, and we're not saying that it is appropriate to use it, but they use it appropriately
discreetly
in context. So that's my thoughts on it. That's our thoughts on it. If you want to share your thoughts, you can reach us on Twitter at the New Leaf Crew, or email at thenewleafcrew@gmail.com, or our Facebook page called New Leaf Podcast. You can reach us at any of those places, or on Xbox if you want to. So last thing that I want to talk about is Smite. We've been playing that a lot, and
just so everyone knows, the reason we're talking about these games is because these are kind of games that these are just a few games we've kind of touched on the last couple weeks, and we haven't talked about because of the series we've been doing.
Right.
So I mean, because we're kind of just like saying a bunch of random games. Oh, but something I wanted to say about The Witcher,
Yeah.
really quick. Sorry, before we moved on, I forgot.
Well, hurry up.
If you like combat and like brutally, like gory combat, then The Witcher is totally for you. 'Cause,
Yeah,
I mean,
it is.
I'm not sure if you guys have listened to me at all or know anything about me, but I mean, I kind of thrive off of like people dying and just blood and everything, like
You gotta stop
dismemberment.
saying stuff like that. It makes you sound weird.
So like that stuff just totally makes me. I don't know. I just like it. So, but when you're the best thing about The Witcher is when you're fighting the humans, like human enemies. You can do a strong attack and like cut from their left shoulder down to their waist. You can cut it in half. So like the top part falls off, and then their legs and their like right arm or whatever arm is still attached. Kind of like walk around and wave around for a second, and then they fall over. It's so awesome.
And like you can fight on horseback on this one too, and you can hold your sword swing down and ride past somebody and then swing the sword. And if you kill somebody while you're doing that, I mean, you'll like cut their arms off and cut them in half, like Taylor said, or cut their head off. I mean, it's pretty brutal.
It's pretty awesome.
And most of the time after you're done fighting, there's just like a bunch of bloody corpses laying around on the ground. I mean, it's rough.
It's
So,
rough. No, it's awesome.
It's awesome, but it's very gritty. So if that kind of stuff bothers you too, a lot of other RPGs don't have that. Like there may be like a little bit of blood and you just kill the character and they fall over. So this is it's very gory combat. So let's talk about Smite. Now, I got into the closed, actually the closed alpha. It's in beta now, but I got a couple of codes. I got 2 codes actually. I used one. I gave one to Taylor, and he didn't play it like for a really long time. And I wanted him to just try it out, but I didn't think he was gonna like it because Taylor's not really the kind of guy who goes for a MOBA game. He's the kind of guy that just like runs in and like fights everything and
like kills everything. Yeah. Like I just said, like I just like people dying. So.
And you can't do that in a MOBA. You have to be really strategic with like the moves that you use and the timing and all that stuff. And even me, like I kind of enjoy them, but like League of Legends, I played a lot and I wasn't very good at it. But I like Smite a lot, and I could probably say I'm pretty decent at it. I guess you could say. We win most games that we play. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, unless we get like that one guy. Like we had Mercury earlier,
teammates.
Didn't know what he was doing.
I mean, we still won that game though.
Yeah, I know, but still. But
yeah, this
the bad thing about MOBAs is that you always got those guys who totally think they know what they're doing. So they just give you the worst attitude when you don't know what you're doing.
And it's a lot worse on League of Legends. It's not as bad on this one, but it still is those people on this one.
Like yesterday we were playing and I don't even know what happened, but these 3 like total nerd Fergusons started getting all angry with me.
We weren't even in a match yet, and they're like just ragging on you the whole time. I don't know what it was.
Yeah, he's like, "You better watch your mouth, boy, and talking to me." I'm like, "Listen, kid, like." You're like 21 and you're playing MOBA and you're taking it seriously. I'm pretty sure I'm not really too scared of you.
And here's the funny thing: like the match that we played with them, I don't know what happened. I don't know if they like muted us halfway through or something.
They did. They muted us
because we stopped being able to hear them. I don't know why. We weren't like really arguing. We were just playing the game, like talking to each other, communicating. So for some reason they decided to mute us. But this one guy, I mean, he did terrible. He had like 5 kills and like I don't know, like 15 deaths or something.
Yeah, no, yeah, he was like 5 and 12 or 5 and 15, yeah.
But me and Taylor just absolutely ran that whole game.
And, yeah, we did the best, without a doubt.
And these guys, I mean, they like knew all the nerd lingo. Like, they knew all the names of the items to use that buff certain things and which character and whatever.
Like they were saying stuff, and I was like, "What are they talking about?" Yeah. It's like,
and
he's like, "Dude, you have to use the amulet of the heart." I'm like, "What is he? What? I don't know what that is."
So, yeah, they were. I mean, the first guy that we met just doing the 3v3 was kind of cool. I mean, he sounded kind of
self-entitled.
He was like, really nerdy about it, but he wasn't like really
a jerk.
Like, yeah, he wasn't a jerk. But his other two buddies, for sure, were like, as soon as they got into the
hated me.
party, they started ragging on us.
Yeah, because I was like, oh no, the thing that started it was we were getting the buff, and I was like, he's like, I'm going to get the buff, and I was like, okay, I'll help you. So we go over there, and I'm like killing the guy with him, and then he throws this one out there. He's like, "Don't take my buff,"
Oh, yeah.
and I was like, hey, shut up. I was like, I came to help you. I'm not gonna take your buff. And that's when he was like, you better watch your mouth when you're talking to me, boy. Okay.
And then he asked us how old we were, and he was like a year older than you, and for some reason that like made him like way better than you.
Yeah, he was like
talking to me.
He's like, wait. He's like, what are you like? But you're probably a year older than me, right? And I was like, no, I'm 20. He's like, oh, that even proves my point even more. Like, what are you talking about?
So yeah, it was funny. We usually just sit in a party. We don't talk to random people very often, but most
and
of
I have
the
a really
ones,
bad habit of poking fun at people and starting stuff like that. So
that's putting it lightly, I think. But but if most of the people that we have talked to are pretty cool.
Yeah. And it's nice because like I've always heard that, like you said, people in League, like if they don't know what you're doing, they're really hateful to you, and it's and some people on Smite are like really nice when you don't
they're
really
really
know.
Helpful. They'll give you tips and for like which items to buy and stuff like that. So it's cool, but I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on it, so I don't want to talk about it later. Maybe after we play with Tyler.
Yeah.
But this game works really well on the Xbox. I feel like a lot of the other MOBAs haven't. The only one I can think of is like Monday Night Combat was a MOBA, and it was good because it was like a third-person shooter, but it was a MOBA. And this one's third-person instead of the like top-down kind of like dungeon crawler look like League of Legends and a lot of the other ones are. It works really well with the controller. Like I said, I'm pretty decent at it, so that helps. But it's a lot of fun.
And like coming from someone that like despises everything that a MOBA stands for, well, that's me that I'm talking about. It was relatively easy to get used to, and the third person aspect helps a lot.
Yeah.
Because the top down thing, if you're a predominant shooter or like a in the game kind of player, the whole top down thing it just is so monotonous and stupid in my opinion. But being able to actually be in the fight, and do stuff, so I thought that was it's good.
It's cool too because it adds an element to this game that you don't get with the other top down ones. I mean, you can really like sneak up behind somebody and they'll have no idea what's going on. It's super easy to do that actually.
Yeah.
And the characters, most of them are pretty easy to learn. Like there's a few that are kind of outside the norm in the different categories as far as like mage, hunter, assassin, warrior, whatever. But most of them, the same items work with them. You can even have auto buy items and auto level skills if you're not really familiar with it, and it kind of the game helps you out with what to buy if you don't know that much about it. There's like a practice mode. There's a lot of different modes and they're all way different. So it's very, very, I don't know, very easy to pick up and do pretty well. I mean, you kind of know what you're supposed to be doing to do well, but like I said, like Taylor said, if there's somebody there to kind of help you out, then it'll be a lot easier for you.
Yeah, definitely a lot easier for you. But
I wanted to keep this episode kind of short, and we're already past an hour. So
yeah, so
I want to go and wrap it up. But all that being said, definitely send us a friend request if you want to play Smite. If you have it, it's still in a closed beta state right now, but eventually it will release onto the Xbox Store. It is also free. They're free to play. I mean, you can spend money to get the gems and unlock skins and characters, or you can spend like $30 and get the Founders Pack, which gives you all the characters plus any future characters that they release. Gives you a couple skins. It's a very good deal. And that also refunds all the stuff that you spent on characters already. It's like if you've bought, like I bought one character and I you can rent characters. You can't do this in League of Legends. You can rent a character for like a day, 2 days, 3 days. If you kind of want to try them out, but you don't want to spend the money to buy them. Like if you buy them and you're terrible with them, it's kind of like a waste of money.
Right.
So you can rent the characters and kind of do it that way. But I had rented one character and I had bought one character, and then I did the Founders Pack, and it refunded all the money that I spent on those characters, so I can now buy other stuff with it. And this is also like some of the skins you can purchase with the favor, which is the in-game currency. Other skins you have to purchase with the gems, which is the real money currency, and that's cool. Like League of Legends, all the skins you have to pay real money for. So it's nice that they put some of them available for like no real money at all. It's good.
Right. I mean, it's nice because it's cool because the character you like to play as might be the one that's free all the time. Like that's how I am. Like
and
the character that I use is.
And I think that'll change
free, so.
Because it's been on that free rotation like ever since the game came out. I feel like it'll change like week to week once the game actually releases.
Right.
So you might want to save up your stuff and buy that character once it releases.
Oh yeah, I have a ton of money. Don't worry. So.
But yeah, it's a really fun game. Let us know if you want to play it. We're usually playing every weekend.
Like we said, if you don't have it, I mean, we might be able to find someone that has a extra beta code. I'm not really sure if anyone I know does, but I'm sure we could ask around.
Everybody that signed up. Well, I think everybody that signed up for the original alpha got 2 codes, and if they don't have one of those left, they just emailed out 2 more codes to everybody again, and I threw those out already to other friends like Tyler. I gave one to Tyler and one to our other buddy Sulky Peddler. But if he doesn't want to redeem it, I don't know if he has gold. So if he doesn't want to redeem it, I'll maybe give it to somebody, some listener or something.
Yeah.
And you might, I don't know if this is true, but I've heard that if you purchase the Founders Pack, you can get into the game. So that's another way to do it. But I would say don't buy that unless you know that you're going to like the game.
Right.
But yeah, my gamer tag on Xbox is SOG space McJeston, MCJESTON. Taylor, what's yours?
Mine is Taylor Made, TAYLORMADE space 1994.
Taylor Made's all one word.
Yeah.
So hit us up if you want to play sometime. I'd be glad to do that. That game's a lot of fun, and we'll talk about it a little bit more in depth whenever we get a chance. Not sure when.
Hopefully, once Tyler plays it.
Week.
So
hopefully Tyler can get enough of his school done to play it a little bit this week and talk about it next week. But I think we're gonna leave it at that. It's kind of our catch-up show, and we'll launch into some other topics in the next coming weeks. It's kind of weird. I don't really know what to do now that we don't have like a plan every week. I'm gonna have to start putting some more thought into the podcast or something, I guess.
So yeah, right. I'm sure I could come up with something.
I'm sure somebody could. But we also want to do some giveaways too. We're coming up on, and we may actually hit it after this episode, coming up on 1,000 total plays and downloads, which is like ridiculous. I didn't have analytics on the other podcasts I did, but I don't think it was anywhere near that number. So that's awesome. And the Reformed,
that's like ridiculous.
The Reformed Gamers just did a giveaway a couple weeks ago where they had passed 500, and we started at like the same time as they did. So I feel like they have more of a community base than we do. So I don't know where all these people are coming from that's listening to the show. But it must just be like, I don't know, like moms and brothers and sisters that just listen because they feel bad and they want to like support what we do. They don't really care about video games.
Probably not, but
I don't know. We get a lot of people that like our Facebook stuff that I look at them, I'm like,
yeah, but those people would not, the ones that you're thinking of would not listen to the podcast. They don't know anything about video games. They just like it because they know that we are a part of it.
So in either case, we want to give some stuff back to the fans, and there'll be more details on that coming up. So Stay tuned.
Please do. Yeah, I don't know what. We'll have probably video game oriented giveaway items. So.
Well, we might have something iTunes related if people want to go ahead and leave us an iTunes review. We don't have any at this point. I'm sure there's a lot of people. Yeah, no, there's none. I'm sure there's a lot of people that listen to us on iTunes. If you do, give us a rating and a review. That'd be awesome, and we might do something special for you. It sounded kind of weird, but
that was really weird.
It'll be good. Just trust me.
Christian can do something special for you.
No.
I'm not going to.
Stop right there. This episode's over. That's it. Yep. So that's a wrap for episode 18 of the new podcast.
It?
Yeah, that's it.
I thought you said. I thought that was.
You interrupted the outro.
Oh my bad, dude.
Did you have something else to add?
No.
Okay, then be quiet. This has been episode 18 of the New Leaf Podcast. Leave us an iTunes rating review. Send us some friend requests on Xbox. Play Smite with us. Send us an email, tweet, Facebook. I don't know what you do on Facebook. About our Witcher discussion. We'll probably cover that topic a little bit more in depth later on down the line. But for right now, we're out. We out here.
Bye.
Bye.
What?
Is it over?
Yeah, it's over. Are you sad?
I'm a little sad.
I didn't even have to cut anything out. You didn't say anything so offensive that I'd had to cut it out. That's good.
Shut up, dude.
I'm
I'm pretty sure people think I'm crazy, dude, because I love blood. And
I know.
Stuff.
You need to stop saying that. It's creepy.
I don't give a crap.
We're gonna lose listeners. I might have to quack out when you said PlayStation gamers suck, but I don't know if I will.
I don't give a crap.
We might have PlayStation listeners. Come on.
I don't give a crap, man. I don't give up. I don't.
Okay.
I don't with you.
Let's play Smite some more.
You little stupid.
Shut up.
Man, you shut the